जयो राधा माधव जयो कुंज बिहारी जयो राधा माधव जयो कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जयो राधा माधव जयो कुंज बिहारी नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय निताय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल 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 हरि हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखावतांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते बीवी गोविंद स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शहीदास ठाकुर की जय। ओके, so how many of you have heard last time's lecture, or you revised all the 7 verses that we did last time, because it has a major bearing on what we are going to do today. So kiya hai sabne? Is everybody up to date?
I could do 5. I revised 5 till 33, 34 and 35 रह गए.
Most sincere student. How many others, especially those who were missing? मैंने आज post भी किया था कि ये जरूर सुन लेना जो पिछली क्लास में नहीं थे. Were you able to cover the 7 verses up to 35 we did, right? Reshma?
I was trying to listen. I was not able to cover. I just listened a few verses and then I just couldn't. Just felt.
Okay, so you did a few?
Yeah, I did a few in the beginning. I was just listening.
Okay. So the gist of what we did in the last class was that Rag and Dvesh are like attraction and repulsion. So one attracts, the other repulses. And Rag and Dvesh is what we have to. It is there in our human psychology. It is there, very much a part of our material life, and we cannot run away from it. However, we can use this Rag and Dvesh, which is a part of our DNA, in Krishna consciousness. Attraction to Krishna consciousness and aversion or repulsion or withdrawing from material consciousness or Maya consciousness. So we can use our rag and dvesh to spiritual, to our advantage. It's not a bad thing. You just have to utilize that weapon. For example, हम सब ने ये सुना है, लोहा लोहे को काटता है, जहर जहर को काटता है ना? When there are large forest fires, जो अमेरिका में कई बार लगती हैं, कैलिफोर्निया में कई बार लगती हैं, और जब ओवरहेड एरोप्लेन्स फायर रिटार्डेंट मटेरियल उसके ऊपर फेंकते हैं, planes are flying over the fire and trying to, and वो भी जब successful नहीं होते, so what is the ancient way of killing large forest fires? They start another fire. So when this fire meets the other fire which is already burning, both the fires, when they meet together, they burn each other and extinguish each other. So fire kills fire. लोहा लोहे को काटता है, सुना है ना आप सब ने? उसी तरह जहर जहर को काटता है. कोविड, व्हाट इज वैक्सीनेशन? थोड़ा सा कोविड का जहर आपके अंदर डाल दिया, ताकि अगर मेजर कोविड का जहर आ जाए तो ये जहर ऑलरेडी जो अंदर है उसको काउंटरएक्ट कर दे. इज एवरीबडी अंडरस्टैंडिंग इट? So similarly, rag and dvesh हम सबके अंदर है, but that can be used to our advantage by just spiritualizing it. Rag means attraction, so Maya से attraction ना हो करके Krishna consciousness से attraction लगवा लो. And dvesh means repulsion, so repulsion from spiritual activities के बजाय repulsion from material activities. अगर हम cultivate कर लेंगे तो we are using rag and dvesh to our advantage, right? So that's what is verse 34. There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion. Raga dvesho vyavasthita, pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion, because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. So the next verse, verse 35, very intelligent question asked by Arjun. Do we have Vaiji today?
Yes, Vanita, I'm there.
Okay. So can you please read the verse 35?
Sure. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swadharme nidanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous.
So this verse also we did last time, that better to do your own, follow your basic nature. Whatever is your natural nature, just follow that. Don't try to copy another's nature, because you will be miserable. Neither will you be, by the force of your basic nature, you will not be able to stay in the other nature that you have copied for long. You will go back to your old nature. For example, a Brahmin by nature likes to teach and to read and learn. If he artificially tries to become a Kshatriya, he's going to be miserable. Neither will he be able to do a Kshatriya's job well, nor can he do his own Brahminical job well. So stay with your nature and try to use that in the service of Krishna. Next verse, Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuno vacha ata kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichanapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. Arjuna said, O descendant of Varshini, by what is one impelled to sinful acts even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?
So, very intelligent question Arjuna asks, that, O descendant of Vrishni, who's that? Who is the descendant of Vrishni? Meena?
कृष्णा
So what is the connection with Vrishni?
वृष्णि वंश से, उनकी जो माता है वो वृष्णि वंश से है, कुंती महारानी.
Yeah, very nice. So he's asking him that अगर सबको पता है, for example, the Vedas have clearly said that ये राग और द्वेष है, and these are lust is is the cause for our downfall. Then after knowing all this also, why do people still do it? By what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly? नहीं भी मन कर रहा है, फिर भी as if engaged by force. ऐसा क्या कारण है कि फिर भी हम करते हैं? For example, thieves. The thieves know कि जो वो कर रहे हैं वो गलत है. उनको पता है that if they get caught, the police is going to catch them, they will be arrested, or they will be punished, or they will be hanged. They know everything. Yet they do it. Why? What is the reason? So Krishna is going to reply to this. Meanwhile, I'll just read the purport for this. A living entity as part and parcel of the Supreme is originally spiritual, pure, and free from all material contaminations. Therefore, by nature, he is not subject to the sins of the material world. But when he is in contact with material nature, he acts in many sinful ways without hesitation, and sometimes even against his will. As such, Arjun's question to Krishna is very sanguine. Sanguine meaning optimistic, very hopeful, very cheerful. That's the meaning of sanguine. So he's hopeful that Krishna is going to give him some solution. कि ऐसा क्यों होता है कि अपनी मर्जी के विरुद्ध भी हम कई काम करते हैं, कोई हमें जबरदस्ती नहीं कर रहा होता, फिर भी we do it, knowingly we commit sins. As to the perverted nature of the living entities, although the living entity sometimes does not want to act in sin, he is still forced to act. Sinful actions are not, however, impelled by the super soul within, but are due to another cause, as the Lord explains in the next verse. So, it is not the Paramatma sitting inside our heart that inspires us to commit those sinful acts. तो अगर हमें हमारे चैत्य गुरु, हमारा परमात्मा, अगर हमारी कॉन्शियंस हमें रोक रही है और हमें एडवाइस कर रही है कि ये मत करो, फिर भी हम वो काम क्यों करते हैं? Arjun is asking on behalf of all of us. So let's hear what Krishna says. Vaichi?
Shri Bhagavan Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahakshano mahapapma vidyenam iha vairinam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world."
There, the secret is out. That this world is actually rotating on these two things, lust and anger. And anger comes because of unfulfilled lust. हमने second chapter में किया है ना, 2.63 and 2.64. You remember? Those two verses should be by hearted, 63 and 64. Krodha bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramsad buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Dhyayato vishayam pumsaha, sangasteshu pajayate, sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho bhijayate. So what is the sequence? It starts by seeing. While contemplating the objects of senses, you see them first, you think, not even seeing, thinking, Contemplation means thinking in the mind. पहले एक idea उत्पन्न होता है दिमाग में. Then a person develops attachment. राग द्वेष. Once gets attached, from that attachment comes lust.
Lust.
And from lust, when that lust is not satisfied, anger. Right? And it goes further in 63. Kama krodhat bhavati sammoha. Once anger is, from anger comes complete delusion.
Delusion.
So from delusion comes bewilderment of memory.
Bewilderment of memory.
And when memory is bewildered means confused. Should I do this or should I do that? Once your memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. Good intelligence is lost. And once intelligence is lost,
Fall down.
person falls down into the
Gross.
cesspool, gutter, falls down the gutter of materialism. Where did it start from? Contemplation, thinking, the mind. And it hinged on lust and then anger. Now 2.62 and 63 he said this. And he brings it up again in 3.37. And now he's crystallizing it into lust and anger. Kama esha, krodha esha. This lust and this wrath, this anger. Rajoguna samudbhavaha. Rajogun, we all know, mode of passion. Samudbhavaha, it's born. So how important it is. So mode of ignorance is here, the gutter level. Little above the gutter is mode of passion. And above the gutter is mode of ignorance. So how important it is to continue to stay in the mode of ignorance, just so you can stay out of mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Because mode of passion में आए तो ignorance में गिरोगे ही गिरोगे. Right? So let's read the purport. When a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust. What does this mean? It means earlier we were a servant of Krishna. But हमारे मन में जब राग और द्वेष जागा कि हमें servant नहीं बनना, then we want to become our own servants. We want to please ourselves and lord it over the material nature. That's when our love is transformed into lust. This is lust. Anything which is not attached to Krishna is lust for the material world. Simple. In association with the mode of passion, Rajogun. In other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust. How? Just as milk, when it is contact with sour tamarind, it is transformed into yogurt. Is that how you do it in South India, Reshma? Do you use tamarind to make dahi?
Vanita, she left.
Okay.
I can tell you.
You also have IG, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just use curd only to do it.
No, if you do not have curd, the first time you are setting it.
No, I borrow from somebody and do it. So.
So here, Prabhupada is even giving you the recipe
Wow,
to make
okay.
curds.
This is new to me.
Just
Actually.
use some, yeah, use
फट
sour
नहीं जाएगा
tamarind.
दूध. फट नहीं जाएगा दूध. फट नहीं जाएगा.
अगर आपने नहीं, if you just add a little bit of lemon, you don't have to boil it. फटेगा तब अगर आप boil करोगे, right? Boil तो नहीं करते ना? How do you set curds?
Warm करते हैं सिर्फ.
Warm करके रख देते हो. You don't cook it any further. And if you just add something sour to it and leave it for a couple of hours, it will curdle into dahi. So, as milk in contact with sour tamarind is transformed into yogurt, similarly, love of God is transformed into lust. So every time you look at dahi, it should remind you of the lust we have in our heart for not serving Krishna. Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, now lust is like a scorpion or a cobra living with you. Peaceful hai, chupchap hai cobra. Lekin, can you live peacefully? Knowing that there's a cobra somewhere under your sofa, under your bed, somewhere in your kitchen cabinet. Will you be care? Can you sleep peacefully? Even if it's not visible and it's not troubling? Why? Because that danger is there that it can get up and strike at any point in time if it gets angry. और उसको किस बात से गुस्सा आ जाए कुछ नहीं पता. Right? So, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath, anger. Wrath means anger. And anger is transformed into illusion. Same, it's a repetition of 2.62 and 2.63. It's transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Illusion means we are bewildered. We are confused as to hame karna kya hai. And once that confusion comes in, there is no clarity on what we have to do with our life, with ourselves, then we continue to be in Rajogun. And we continue to be the servants of Maya. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity. And it is lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the material world. Wrath is the manifestation of the mode of ignorance. So anger, of course, this is how it goes. Like I just said, if you are in the mode of passion, which is lust, it's only going to take you to the mode of ignorance through anger. Because when lust converts to anger, then mode of passion se you come to mode of ignorance. Mode of goodness mein nahi jaoge aap. Upar rajogun mein nahi jaoge. Tamogun mein hi jaoge. Lust se. So anger will take you into the mode of ignorance. And these modes exhibit themselves as wrath and other corollaries. Corollaries matlab? So many other departments.
Associated things. Huh?
Associated, yeah. So many other varieties of lust. If therefore the mode of passion, instead of being degraded into the mode of ignorance, is elevated to the mode of goodness by the prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath. So all of us by default are in Rajogun. Ye maan ke chale. And if we are in Rajogun, it should be our constant endeavor to try and move up to the mode of ignorance. Because if you don't try to move up, then the mode of passion is going to take you to the mode of ignorance. तुम्हारे कुछ किए बगैर ही वो आपको नीचे ही लेकर जाएगा, ऊपर नहीं लेके जाएगा. तो ऊपर आने की कोशिश आपने करनी है. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into many for his ever-increasing spiritual bliss. And the living entities are parts and parcels of the spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence, but by misuse of their independence, when the service attitude is transformed into the propensity for sense enjoyment, they come under the sway of lust. अब ये राग पैदा कैसे हुआ? Lust कैसे पैदा हुआ? पहले तो हम पैदा हुए. We are all parts and parcels of Krishna, right? So he's saying here that the Supreme Personality, Krishna, expanded himself into many. So all of us, he expanded, he produced all of us, right? From his ever-increasing spiritual bliss. And as long as we were with him, serving him, we were happy. Sat Chit Anand. But when the living entities, but he also gave us minute independence. Because he's Swarat, Abhigna Swarat, he's supremely independent. So all of us, because we are his children, we get a portion of his qualities. So we also got a minute form of independence. But when we misused that independence, then lust got hold of us. और हमारा जो service attitude है, spiritual world में everybody has just service attitude. How can I serve Krishna? How can I serve Krishna's servants? How can I serve the servants and the servants of Krishna? So they have nothing but service attitude there. But misuse of this independence changed our service attitude into sense enjoyment. यहाँ पे conversion हो गया, and lust took the seed in our heart. So this material creation is created by the Lord to give us facility to the conditioned souls to fulfill these lustful propensities. So Krishna को एक artificial world, ये भूलोक, ये material world artificial एक खिलौना अलग से बनाना पड़ा कि अच्छा तुम्हें भोग करना है, you want to enjoy separate from me, you don't want to serve, you don't want to be in the spiritual world, you want to be kings yourself. Okay, I'll try and make, although you will not be happy, but I'll give you a temporary arrangement where you can try and fulfill all your sense enjoyments. But when you become completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, then the living entities begin to inquire about their real position. आप थक जाओगे जब खूब material enjoyment करके जब थक जाओगे, then you will start inquiring. Is there another way? Is there a way to get out of it? And this inquiry is the beginning of Vedanta Sutra, wherein it is said, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Jigyasa means inquisitiveness. ये question automatically फिर आपके मन में आएगा. That is this all? इसी के लिए पैदा हुए हैं या कुछ और भी है? And one should inquire into the Supreme. भगवान है तो कौन है? कहाँ है? क्यों नहीं दिख रहा हमें? कैसे उससे मिला जा सकता है? And the Supreme is defined in Srimad Bhagavatam as Janmadi Asya Yato Anvayat Itaratascha. The origin of everything is the Supreme Brahman. Brahman means the three levels of God consciousness. Brahman is just the effulgence of the Lord. The energy of the Lord is the Supreme Brahman, which is shapeless, formless. This cosmic energy, this is Brahman. This is the energy of the Lord. Further, more specific to that is Paramatma, the localized Lord sitting in the heart of each living entity. And furthermore from there is Bhagwan, the personal feature of the Lord. So, the origin of everything is the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, origin of lust is also the Supreme. So, if therefore lust is transformed into love for the Supreme, or transformed into Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath, anger, can be spiritualized. Good news. Anger is good. Lust is good. Good news. Mothers, you don't have to worry. मुझे तो गुस्सा ही आता रहता है, मैं तो बच्चों पे चिल्लाती ही रहती हूँ. It's good. How? Because it can be spiritualized. Like Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Ram, exhibited his anger by burning the golden city of Ravan. But by doing so, he became the greatest devotee of the Lord. So he used his anger to serve Krishna. He used his serve Ram, used his anger as devotion. Here also in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord induces Arjuna to engage his wrath upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. Uttisht Arjuna, he says, get up and fight. You are angry for all the injustices that Duryodhana and the Kauravas, the Kurus, meted out to you, your mother, and your brothers. So get up and fight as an act of sacrifice for me. I am giving you that direction. So you use your anger as a service to me and fight on my behalf. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Krishna consciousness, become our friends instead of our enemies. So, lust and anger are responsible for tying us to this world. But the good news is that the same lust and anger can also take us out of this world. The choice will depend on us, on how we use lust and anger. Correct? Okay, 38.
धूमे नाव्रियते वह्निर् यतादर्शो मलेन च यतोल्बेनावृतो गर्भः तथा तेने tenedamavritam. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust.
So I'm really amazed by Krishna, how he gave examples, you know. जबकि ये 5000 साल पहले बोला गया था और उसके पहले भी ये करोड़ों साल पहले भी बोला गया, विवस्वान को सतयुग में भी बोला गया है. Bhagavad Gita was spoken in every yuga. So trillions of years back, or it was spoken even in Satyug and Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga. So he has given these examples every time, like that of a mirror and a womb and fire and smoke. So this means that these activities are always done from time immemorial. Children will always be born in the womb. A mirror will always be used to see, and there will always be dust. You know, I get very fascinated by examples that God himself is giving. Like pearls on a string, he gives that example of pearls on a string. And I wonder that, wow, God also needs examples to explain, to his disciples. He gives practical examples. So all three of these examples, Prabhupada has given a nice meaning for all three of them. There are 3 degrees of covering of the living entity by which his pure consciousness is obscured. Obscured means covered, obstructed. This covering is but lust under different manifestations, like smoke and fire, dust on the mirror, and womb, about the embryo. When lust is compared to smoke, it is understood that the fire of the living spark can be a little perceived. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness slightly, he may be likened to the fire covered by smoke. Although fire is necessary where there is smoke, there is no overt manifestation of fire in the early stage. So this stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. Yeah, थोड़ी सी आग है, थोड़ा सा धुआं है. This is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. And dust on the mirror refers to a cleaning process of the mirror of the mind by so many spiritual methods. The best process is to chant the holy names. The embryo covered by the womb is an analogy illustrating a helpless position, because the child in the womb is so helpless that he cannot even move. So this stage of living condition can be compared to that of the trees. Trees are also living entities, but they have been put in such a condition of life by such a great exhibition of lust that they are almost void of all consciousness. The covered mirror is compared to the birds and beasts, and the smoke-covered fire is compared to the human being. So, trees, then beasts, and then human beings. This is the order of progress. Lowest consciousness are trees. And that is compared to, so that is the dullest form. Similarly, the embryo covered by the womb is the dullest form compared to that of a tree. Higher than that is dust on the mirror, because थोड़ा बहुत अंदाजा आपको फिर भी लगता है कि there is a mirror and there is dust on it. So that is compared to birds and beasts. And the best form or the highest form is smoke, fire. That is compared to human beings, because you can still see clearly fire. Although there is little smoke, not much, but if a fire is burning, you can still see clearly. But dust on a mirror makes it even more difficult to see. So that's a more duller form of consciousness. That's why all birds and beasts come in that example. And the dullest form is, that's the most helpless stage. And a child in an embryo, it is the thickest form of covering. There's nothing that can reach the child. It's so densely covered, it is in darkness and cannot even move. So that consciousness is compared to that of a tree. That is so they are the dullest form. And if he makes further development, then the fire of spiritual life can be kindled in the human form of life. So if you can handle carefully the smoke in the fire can be made to blaze. Therefore, the human form of life is a chance for the living entity to escape the entanglement of material existence. So escaping is easiest and fastest if you are in that smoke and fire kind of situation. उससे ज़्यादा difficult है निकलना in mirror and dust kind of a situation. और सबसे ज़्यादा मुश्किल है निकलना from the tree consciousness or the womb, embryo in the womb consciousness. Degree of difficulty बताई गई है इसमें. So in the human form of life, one can conquer the enemy lust by cultivation of Krishna consciousness under able guidance. So this goes to show how precious human life is. It is the best opportunity and the best vehicle to come out of this confusion of material consciousness. It is like fire and smoke. So सबसे ज़्यादा facility human life में है, where you can very quickly come out of lust and anger and the implication of lust and anger from Rajogun. You can come out and you can come to Sattvagun, and once you are at Sattvagun, it is very easy then to come to Krishna consciousness, because Sattvagun is also not everything, that is also material. But it is a very nice position to be in, to jump out of the material world into the spiritual world. So birds and beasts के लिए बहुत मुश्किल है, और trees के लिए तो virtually impossible है to come out of this. So this just goes to show that bahunam janma manushyanam, that this is such a valuable opportunity, the human body that we have got, and you can use this to conquer lust and anger, or not conquer, use it in Krishna consciousness, and thereby get a visa to unmute करके बोलोगे ना.
भगवत धाम,
Bhagavad Dham, Golok Dham, Vaikuntha, wherever you desire. There is a Mayapur in the spiritual world. There is a place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resides. There is Ayodhya also, if you are very attached to Lord Ram. There is Dwarka also, if you are attached to the kingly form of Krishna. And there is Golok Dham also, if you are attracted by the personal feature of the Lord. There are all kinds of varieties there. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajami. I will reciprocate according to the degree of your surrender and affection. मेरे पास सारी variety है. आपको जो चाहिए आप उसके लिए काम करो, मेरे तक आओगे, I will give you what you need. है ना? Okay. So Prabhupada says a very nice thing. Lust and love, दोनों एक ही चीज है. Simply you have to change the account. He's not saying that kill your desire. He's just saying purify your desire by desiring to satisfy Krishna. Desire will always be there. Lust will always be there. Krodh will always be there. Just purify it by using it to satisfy Krishna. So dovetail everything in Krishna consciousness, and then it becomes perfect. 39.
Avritam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cham. Thus, the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fires.
Yeah. So it is said in the Manusmriti that lust cannot be satisfied by any amount of sense enjoyment, just as fire is never extinguished by a constant supply of fuel. So, what is fuel? What is ghee? Enjoyment, sense enjoyment. More, let us enjoy the five senses: eyes, nose, mouth, touch. That is the ghee. Now, and the fire is the sense enjoyment. Now, can you extinguish that fire by putting the ghee of sense enjoyment? This means the more you're enjoying your senses, the more the fire is going to burn. Isn't it? So, I mean, I really fail to understand how the civilized world came to this conclusion that do as you please, live life king size, eat, drink, and make merry, for tomorrow we shall die. Based on what logic? Because the more you enjoy, the more dissatisfied you become, the more tired you become. The more disillusioned you become, and yet we are trying to make that only as our solution, that no, enjoy more, and then you will become happy. And the Shastra is saying the complete opposite. That you can never extinguish the fire by a constant supply of fuel. So in the material world, the center of all activities is sex. And thus, this material world is also called मैथुन्य आगार. शास्त्र में तो हमारी दुनिया को एक नाम भी दिया हुआ है, sex world, मैथुन्य आगार. Imagine, and we are so proud to be living here. शास्त्र ये बोलते हैं. Or the shackles of sex life. बेड़ियां. In the ordinary prison house, criminals are kept within bars. Similarly, the criminals who are disobedient to the laws of the Lord are shackled by sex life. Because we disobeyed him in the spiritual world, okay, he put us here. Advancement of material civilization on the basis of sense gratification means increasing the duration of material existence of a living entity. जेल है ये, जेल में रिफॉर्मेशन के लिए भेजा गया है. रिफॉर्मेशन ना करके यहाँ पे भी इफ वी जेलर से लड़ाई, को प्रिजनर्स के साथ लड़ाई, नॉट फॉलोइंग द रूल्स ऑफ द जेल, अगर हम यही काम करते रहेंगे, कैन वी एवर गेट रिलीज्ड फ्रॉम द जेल? So, and what is our civilization teaching us? What is our modern society teaching us? That just advance on the basis of sense gratification. But the Shastra says, with this you're only increasing the duration of your stay here in the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, this lust is the symbol of ignorance, by which the living entity is kept within the material world. While one enjoys sense gratification, it may be that there is some feeling of happiness. कुछ तो खुशी मिलती है, तभी तो लोग करते हैं. Of course, you do enjoy eating all those nice things, drinking when you get a kick, traveling, all kinds of activities. But actually, that so-called feeling of happiness is the ultimate enemy of the sense enjoyer. So this is the trick of the material world, that you think you are enjoying, but actually you're becoming a slave more and more. You're just getting into slavery more and more. This is the material world. So it is the enemy. It is the enemy of the sense enjoyer. This feeling of happiness. It's not real happiness. That is why people are disillusioned towards the end of life. क्योंकि इंद्रियां तो तृप्त हुई नहीं. खाना पीना, देखना, सुनना, सूंघना, टच तो खत्म नहीं हुआ, लेकिन बॉडी बूढ़ी हो गई, बॉडी खत्म हो गई. अब वो रो रहे हैं कि हाय मैं एंजॉय नहीं कर पा रहा, मेरा तो व्हीकल ही खराब हो गया है, ना मेरी आंखें चल रही हैं, ना मुंह चल रहा है, दांत नहीं रहे, झुर्रियां भी पड़ गई, शरीर भी नहीं रहा, कानों से सुन नहीं रहा, आंखों से दिख नहीं रहा, लेकिन एंजॉयमेंट की लालसा तो खत्म नहीं हुई. So in old age also, the old people are not crying that, oh, I want Krishna, I want to get out of here. They're just saying, oh, I can't enjoy more. This is illusion. Have you heard? Have you heard people? We all have experience with the elderly. How many of them are saying that I have no more desires left? All I want to do is serve the Lord. I just hear about him. Just give me Krishna Katha. I just want to see devotees. Or I just want to see Kirtan. I just want to see the deities. How many of them are saying this? I just want to eat prasad. Can I have some prasad? So I was just hearing a lecture of a 20-year-old girl, 20 साल की बच्ची आज सुबह श्रीमद् भागवतम पे लेक्चर दे रही थी. What an amazing lecture. And she was sharing that, I'm forgetting the name of the Maharaj, Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, I think. He was in hospital for a very long time. And जब वो hospital से घर आए, devotees उनको लेकर आए आश्रम में, तो devotees सब उनको कह रहे थे, कहते मुझे बहुत भूख लगी है. पहली चीज उनकी पहली बात ये थी कि अस्पताल से जब आए बहुत भूख लगी है, तो फटाफट सभी devotees ने जाकर, they had already prepared, because he loved his prasad. They had already prepared his favorite prasadam. When they brought that, he said, no, I'm not talking about this food. I'm talking about Bhagavatam. In the hospital, there was nobody to read Bhagavatam to me. I couldn't hear. I couldn't chant. मुझे वो भूख लगी है. How many people can say that in old age, or people who just come from hospital? How many say that they're hungry for Bhagavatam? We just come back and say, वहाँ का ये खाना अच्छा नहीं था, वहाँ दर्द बहुत हो रहा था, वहाँ ये करने को नहीं मिल रहा था, and now give me my favorite things. This is the real lolyam. This is the real greed and lust for Krishna consciousness, where he was actually craving these kind of things. This means he has already subdued the snakes of his desires, isn't it? वो सारे desires जब subdue हो गए, all the lust has subdued, has come to sattva gun. That is why he's relishing a higher taste, and that higher taste is making him free from misery. So the so-called feeling of happiness is actually the ultimate enemy of the sense and joy if it is not dovetailed in Krishna consciousness. So nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. That's the only difference. Dovetail everything in Krishna consciousness. Yuktam vairagyam uchyate. Everything becomes perfect. Automatically, you get vairagya. You come out of tamogun, rajogun, and you come up to sattvagun. Okay, 39. There's one more point that Srila Prabhupada makes. He says it's very important, the senses, the mind, and the intelligence. I think this will come in the next verse. Yeah, we'll take the next verse, 39.
30, okay. Okay. We did it, right? We just did the 39.
Yeah, we just did 39.
Oh, sorry, 40.
Yeah. Indriyani mano buddhir asyadishtan muchyate ete vimohayatesha jnanamavritya dehinam. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him.
There. So sitting place भी बता दी lust की, कि lust रहता कहाँ है. And in all those places that we are right now fanning the fire of, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, this, that, this posting, that posting, we are fanning. Mind, intelligence and senses. इन तीनों जगहों पे ये बिल हैं जिसके अंदर ये कोबरास घुस के बैठे हैं. And we keep feeding them every day. So, look at Prabhupada's purport. The enemy has captured different strategic positions. युद्ध भूमि है, ये जो शरीर है ये युद्ध भूमि है. इसमें जो सबसे crucial positions हैं वो तो सारी enemy ने ले ली. तो हमारे पास बचा क्या? Attack करने के लिए it has taken the most strategic positions in the body. Therefore, Krishna is giving hints of those places so that one who wants to conquer the enemy may at least know where the enemy is to be found. Mind is the center of all the activities of the senses. And thus, when we hear about sense objects, the mind generally becomes a reservoir of all ideas of sense gratification. So, you know, generally we have done this before, that nothing is repeated. Sanskrit is such a high standard of language that a point once made is never repeated. This is the standard they follow. And yet, Krishna is repeating himself. You know, although he's speaking in Devanagari, he's speaking in Sanskrit. Why is that? This means the point is so important that he is forced to repeat and make that point. It is so crucial to your life. It's a life and death situation. But dobara bol rahe hain. What is he saying? That mind is the center of all activities. And 2.62 mein kya bola tha unhone? Dhyayato vishayam pumsas. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment. And here also he's saying the same thing. Mind is the center of all the activities of the senses. So when we hear about sense objects, that is dhyayato, vishayam. Vishaya means sense objects. When we hear of sense gratification, as a result, the mind and the senses become repositories. Repository matlab godown of lust. So it starts with the mind. It starts with dhyayato. It starts with thinking, contemplating. Next, the intelligence department becomes the capital. So go down bhar diya, lustful desires se. Now the intelligence department becomes the capital of such lustful propensities. Intelligent, yeah, we are very intelligent. That is why we have made such advanced ways of enjoying life. And America is a pioneer. And that is why we send our children to study there on how to enjoy sense gratification more, in a more refined way, in a more advanced way. India में तो कोई sense enjoyment कोई ढंग से करता ही नहीं है, आता ही नहीं है इनको. कैसे enjoy करना है, कैसे पीना है, क्या खाना है, कैसे खाना है, कैसे सोना है, वहां से जाके सीखो. इसलिए बच्चों को वहां पढ़ने भेजते हैं, फिर वहां पे जीने के लिए भेज देते हैं. Because intelligence चाहिए ना इन सब चीजों के लिए. They are using their intelligence. How to enjoy sex life more and more in a more better ways, more technologically advanced ways. How to eat in a more advanced way. Intelligence चाहिए उसके लिए. So intelligence department becomes the capital of such lustful propensities. And intelligence is the immediate next door neighbor of the spirit soul. So lusty intelligence, the only problem is that this intelligence is lusty. It is not spiritual. Hence it is a cobra. So lusty intelligence influences the spirit soul, jo bagal mein baitha hai, to acquire the false ego. I am the master and I have to enjoy myself. and I have to live my life in such a way so that my enjoyment can be satisfied. I am the master. This is false ego. And what is real ego? Ego to rahegi. But what is real ego? We will never get rid of lust, anger, ego. So what is real ego?
Servant of Krishna.
Servant of
I'm the
Yeah.
servant of Krishna.
I am a servant of Krishna is intelligence, real intelligence, spiritual intelligence. But what is material intelligence? Lusty intelligence influences the spirit soul to acquire the false ego and identify itself with matter and thus with the mind and senses. How can I enjoy? And the spirit soul then becomes addicted to enjoying the material senses and mistakes this as true happiness. मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, बड़ा मजा आया, बहुत बढ़िया जीवन कटा, ये देखो, ये मेरे बच्चे, ये मेरे पति या पत्नी, ये मेरा घर, ये मेरा retirement plan. So happy. I'm so happy. This false identification of the spirit soul is very nicely explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. Prabhupada is quoting. Yasyatma buddhihi kunape tridhatuke swadhi kalatradishu bhauma ijjadhihi yattirtha buddhi salile na karhichi janeshva abhigneshu sa eva gokhara. Gokhara, my God. Do we know the meaning of gokhar? Gokhara, donkey. Khara is a donkey, go is a cow. So, translation. A human being who identifies this body made of three elements with his self, who considers the byproducts of the body, bacche, rishtedar, padosi, to be his kinsmen, who considers the land of birth worshipable, and who goes to the place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than meet men of transcendental knowledge there, is to be considered like an ass or a cow. Gokhara. Human beings में भी नहीं आते वो. So what caught my attention here is who go to a place of pilgrimage, Vrindavan, simply to take a bath or take darshan. Man ke bihari darshan. Adharaman darshan. This darshan, that darshan. Rather than meet men of transcendental knowledge there. This is the missing point on how to visit Dham. So they are just to be considered like an ass or a cow. So Dham means, of course you take darshan, but that's not the only purpose for which you go there. But you go there to hear from saintly people, to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Gita. That is the real bath. So this girl, Duti Gopi Devi Dasi, today morning, she was saying that one time she went to Vrindavan and there was a Srimad Bhagavatam Katha happening, not Vrindavan. She was in Mayapur, or some dham. And there was, a Katha was just about to start, but she had to choose. So she went to take a dip in the Ganga. So when she came back after taking a dip in the Ganga, and Prabhu asked her that, did you hear the lecture? She said, no, I didn't hear this lecture, but at least I took a dip in the Ganga. And then he spoke this verse to her. And he said, this means, so you are no better than a donkey because you considered the water of Ganga higher than the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. तीर्थ स्थान में डुबकी लगाना is equal to a dog taking a bath in a puddle. If you have not heard from saintly people the glories of the Lord there. This shows us the etiquette with how we should be visiting with her. So she said, I felt so apologetic and I felt so bad that मेरी कॉन्शियसनेस देखो कितनी लो है. मैं अपने आप को भक्त समझती हूँ, लेकिन मेरी कॉन्शियसनेस देखो कि जब मुझे चूज करने की बारी आई तो मैंने डुबकी लगाना चूज किया. मैंने सोचा भागवतम तो कभी भी सुन लेंगे. This is the level of consciousness. So this will give you an idea of how to use our senses, Kam and Krodh, in the service of Krishna. So engage your senses in Krishna conscious activities, Prabhupada says. Then lust will have no place to attack your senses or sit on your senses. Engage your mind in Krishna. Immediately lust from the mind will go away. And similarly, apply your intelligence how to work in Krishna consciousness. These are the processes. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence, they are the sitting places of lust, as Krishna is very clearly saying, right? So if somebody is lusty and has to search out the enemy, lust, then Krishna is giving you direct information. Here, yahan baithta hai lust. Here is your enemy. Where? Senses, mind, intelligence. So once you know where your enemy is sitting, and if you try to drive out the enemy, you just take precautions. Is it not? So this is Krishna consciousness. This is the real Krishna consciousness. Apply your intelligence, apply your mind, and apply your senses, all three, for the service of Krishna. No more lust. You will be free of lust. Automatically. They will not get a place to sit anywhere. Wherever जो भी इनकी sitting places है वहां पे कृष्ण को बिठा दो. उनको बैठने की जगह ही नहीं मिलेगी. They will die. They will die. This glass is full of water. So, how could you put ink into it? You cannot, because there is no sitting place. Similarly, if you place Krishna in your mind, lust will automatically go away. कोई separate endeavor नहीं करना है उसके लिए. And another example is that if you place a light in the room, then darkness automatically goes away. So Krishna is light. Sun is the light. So try to place Krishna in your mind, in your sensual activities, in your intelligence. No more lust. और how to place Krishna का भी इतना सरल उपाय दे दिया. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nothing complicated. Nothing complicated. Okay. So I had prepared till here. What do you say? Time क्या हुआ है? Oh, 5:18 हो गए. Any questions? Yes. Yes, me.
In Shloka 40, last line, it is written.
40.
Yeah. It is written that they should be considered like an ass or a cow. है ना?
The cow क्यों लिखा है?
लेकिन नहीं, हिंदी की गीता में लिखा है गधा या बैल, क्योंकि काउ को गधे, हाँ बैल, क्योंकि
ठीक है, प्लीज रीड काउ एज बुल. एक ही बात है ना, इट्स अ मेल काउ. इट्स अ मेल.
नहीं, लेकिन काउ को तो हम पूजा करते हैं, तो उसका गधे के साथ कंपैरिजन नहीं होना चाहिए, मेरे को ऐसा लगा.
यस नहीं होना चाहिए. So yes, there are some editing, some printing mistakes. That's not the intention. It should be Bell. It should be Bell. Bell सही translation है. Cow नहीं होना चाहिए. The point that they are trying to make it is animal. Beast. It is simply animal. That if you go to a pilgrimage and just डुबकी लगा के आ जाओ, तो आपने कर्म कांड किया, आपने कोई भक्ति नहीं की. animalistic करके आ गए. It's not a very intelligent thing to do. So dham means you search out the Mahatmas and the sadhus there and you hear from them, or you take some instruction from them and come. So how lucky we are that Prabhupada has already made this ISKCON. So yahan pe, you don't have to go looking for sadhus. You don't have to go looking for Mahatmas or people who are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam already or reading the Bhagavad Gita. He said that मैंने ये ISKCON इसलिए बनाया है so that all the pious people can get each other's association. They can all collect in one place and give each other association. ढूंढना ना पड़े. So you just have to go and take advantage of the classes and lectures happening in the dham and hear them and come. Not that, oh, class चल रही है, नहीं मुझे तो मैं जरा राधा रमन के दर्शन कराऊं, वहां नहीं गई, अभी वो 2 और मंदिर बचे हैं, वहां नहीं गई, वहां पे धागा बांधना है एक जगह पे. सब कुछ छोड़कर listen to Krishna Katha. So interesting, है ना? Very interesting. Only 3 verses are left. We finished chapter 3. So each of you are going to get homework now. Prepare 5 verses and present. And that's the best way to revise. उस बहाने revision हो जाता है. और आप पढ़ोगे भी. And it will be quick. एक बार में हो जाएगा. So इतना difficult नहीं है नीला. तुम्हें easy वाले दे देंगे. Any questions? Or anyone wants to share any experience?
I just have a question in this verse 40, where the translation of this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, first line, a human being who identifies this body made of 3 elements. Which 3 elements is talking about?
The same sense, mind and intelligence. These 3. मतलब गीता में तो भगवान ने ये कवर किया ही है, भागवतम में भी same concept has been covered. That the sense, mind and intelligence, these are the sitting places of lust. So यहाँ पे कृष्ण को बिठा दो, automatically this enemy will be overpowered.
And then it is saying who considers the byproducts of the body. What does it mean, byproducts of the body to his kinsman?
आपके बाय प्रोडक्ट्स क्या हैं?
बच्चे.
अच्छा, उसी का मुझे लगा इसमें भी कुछ जैसे माइंड इंटेलिजेंस वैसे भी
सभी आ जाते हैं इसमें. आपके बाय प्रोडक्ट्स से चलो बच्चे हुए, but my understanding would be all our blood relations.
relatives and
Relatives.
हम जिनके बाय प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, हमारे माँ बाप, हमारे भाई बहन, हमारे हस्बैंड, यही तो है जो हमें बांधे रखते हैं. These are our attachments. And they are our kinsmen. Actually, they are not. There is a very nice story in Bhagavatam. No? I am forgetting the name of the king. He was a very nice, a very benevolent king. और उनका he didn't have any child. So when some saint visited him, so he begged him to give him a benediction for a son. So the saint said, you could have asked me for anything else, but you asked me for a son. So okay, so be it. लेकिन आपकी इसमें राशि में है नहीं. You don't have a son. Still, since you are still asking and insisting, I will give you one. I will give you the benediction. You won't be able to enjoy him for long. So nevertheless वो इतने ज़्यादा दुखी और इस दुख में डूबे हुए थे कि मेरा बच्चा नहीं है, मेरा कोई बेटा नहीं है, that finally when his wife delivered a baby boy, he thought he's got the biggest wealth of the world, and the whole entire royal household their life revolved around that child, pampering him and taking care of him and enjoying the child. And as the saintly person had predicted, when the child was, I think, youth, he had just entered his youth, he was stricken by a deadly disease, and the Rajvaidya and all his opulence and nothing could save him, and the child died without ascending the throne. So अपने जवान इकलौते बच्चे को अपने सामने जाते देखना, it was unbearable for him. And so he was a devotee of the Lord, but very attached. So they started crying piteously. मतलब इतना ज़्यादा रुदन हुआ, and he started blaming the Lord of, on why, how could you do this to me? You are like this, you are like that. And matlab inconsolable for days together, inconsolable, not willing to do the sanskar of the child. So Narad Muni was passing from there. Narad Muni appeared, and he told him that, "O king, you are so intelligent, you are so advanced, you know the Shastra, and this does not suit you the way you are behaving." And he says, "I don't want to hear anything. I just bring my child back. मैं कुछ नहीं सुनना चाहता. No Shastra, no Niti, no Gyan." So just to explain to them this point, that we consider the byproducts of the body to be our kinsmen, Narad Muni said, okay. And you know that Narad Muni is a very, very powerful yogi, mystic yogi. So he requested, the soul had already departed, he requested the soul of that child to come back into the body and tell these people where you are right now, what you are doing there, and whether you want to come back. So that soul agreed as a regard to Narad Muni. So the soul, this is a recorded incident in history. Srimad Bhagavatam, very interesting. The soul re-entered that body. So that child opened its eyes, got up, and looked around. And the mother and father and everybody, got up to hug him. And he said that, look, I'm a Jivatma. I was right now on this planet doing this work, but only on the request of Narad Muni, I've come back to speak to you and tell you that because of your attachment, you are forcing me to come back into this. But how should I look at you? I can't relate to you. I mean, in this life, you were my father and mother, but I can remember all my previous births. So I have so many mothers and so many fathers. Which one should I consider my real father and mother? You are the last, the latest. What about all the other ones? So I really cannot identify with you as my parents, because neither of us are each other's son or father or mother. In every life, we change our roles. Sometimes, we play as sons, and sometimes we play as brothers. And so, what should I do? Which one should I consider my real father and mother? You tell me, since you have forced me to come back. But as a spirit soul, I know that I have only one father who doesn't change. So, and that was exactly what I was doing on that planet. So I want your permission to let me go, please. Can you please let me go? And I really don't want to be in this body anymore. I've already cut off all my attachments. Sabke sab shocked. The king, the queen immediately stopped crying. They got pacified. They understood that this is exactly what the Shastra is saying. This is the practical application of what we have been reading. That these are not our real kinsmen. ये सिर्फ हमारी बॉडीली रिलेशंस टेम्पररी रिलेशनशिप्स हैं. तो उनका हार्ट पैसिफाई हो गया, उनका रुदन रोना धोना बंद हो गया, एंड उन्होंने उसको अनुमति दी हाथ जोड़कर, ओके प्लीज लीव. एंड दे रियलाइज दैट या रियली दिस इज हाउ अ लिविंग एंटिटी इज आफ्टर डेथ. You know, no attachments. He will not even remember you. So ये once in a while नारद मुनि ने किया, just to, जब कोई बहुत delirious हो जाता है ना, तो कई बार उनको करना पड़ता है. You've seen this, no? Sometimes people can't handle death or some shock, and they start screaming and shouting, or they become delirious. So then the counselor or the psychiatrist, they give them a slap to bring them to their senses. है ना, सुना होगा आपने. थप्पड़ इसको कहते हैं, डंडा थेरेपी, डंडा थेरेपी. एक you have to give them a slap to make them come to their senses. So that's why Narad Muni had to do this, to bring such a enlightened, intelligent, advanced spiritual king. Attachment अच्छों के साथ ये कर देता है. I hope that clarifies Neelam's question.
Raja Chitraketu.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry?
He was Raja Chitraketu.
Okay. Raja. And who was the saintly person who gave him that benediction?
Angira Rishi.
Yeah. So these stories in the Bhagavatam these are assorted stories. Otherwise तो millions and millions of stories हैं. तो ऐसे तो भागवतम पढ़ी भी नहीं जाएगी, because there are going to be millions of cantos then. But assorted stories from different yugas डाली गई हैं to drive home this point, this one point. ईश्वरः परमः कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिर आदिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारण. He is our only father and mother, and because of all these bodily attachments, through all these stories we get to understand कि राजे महाराजे भी इसकी चपट में आ जाते हैं, ordinary persons भी आ जाते हैं. तो क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए? How do saintly people help these people come back to their senses or get detached from lust and anger? That is why Srimad Bhagavatam is like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, that he says, supposing all the Vedas of the world get burnt and Bhagavad Gita gets burnt and कोई कॉपी नहीं रहती, डिजिटल भी नहीं रहती, हार्ड कॉपी भी नहीं रहती, सब कुछ खत्म हो जाए, सिर्फ एक भागवतम कहीं पे बच जाए, nothing is lost. You have not lost anything. You have still have all the wealth of the world. इतना important है भागवतम. Reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam. So yeah. Anything else? Ishita? Yes, Meena, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे?
क्या कह रही थी माता जी? हरे कृष्णा. I had a
हरे
question.
हाँ.
अच्छा, I was listening to your previous lecture. तो उसमें ना आप जहाँ पे वो समझा रहे हैं कि regulation, you know, just give us a regulation so that obviously we don't go off the track. So just say sex, you spoke about sex, that you know, if you want to enjoy sex, then regulation is marriage. But then towards the later part of it, you say that but उसमें हम ट्रैप हो जाते हैं, मतलब उस वो को पार्ट समझ नहीं आया. I mean,
ये नीलम ने लास्ट क्लास में नीलम ने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा था. Did you hear the question answer session?
No, मैं वहां तक पहुंची. I did.
So Neelam asked the same question. So I tell her, I'll give you another example. उसको मैंने
अगर आपको लग रहे टाइम लग रहे तो मैं सुन लूंगी वो वाला.
No, I'll give you another example for that. इससे आपको बहुत अच्छी तरह समझ में आ जाएगा. You are addicted, okay? Supposing you are a smoker, a chain smoker, and you are smoking, say, 30 cigarettes a day, ठीक है? And you go to a doctor that look, I'm smoking 30 cigarettes a day and I'm not liking it. I have children. I'm breastfeeding my children and I want to kick this habit. So what does the doctor do? Will the doctor say कि कल से सिगरेट पीना बंद कर दो? ये तो आपको भी पता था, ये तो आपको भी पता था. अगर यही सुनना था तो आप डॉक्टर के पास क्यों जाते? So what is the doctor going to say? अच्छा आप 30, okay he lasts a few. सुबह कितनी? 5 पीती हूँ, 5. उसके बाद लंच के बाद मैं शायद 5, and then उसके बाद maybe 5 और सोने से पहले 2. So what will he say? अच्छा ऐसा करो, ब्रेकफास्ट के बाद 3 जैसे तुम डाइट लिखती हो, और लंच के बाद 2 कर लो, और डिनर के बाद तुम 1 कर लेना, सोने से पहले चाहे तुम 2 कर लो. ठीक है, उसने रेगुलेट कर दिया आपका स्मोकिंग. And then he follows up with you कि अच्छा are you able to follow, and you're saying no अभी भी 5 हो रही है. Then he keeps on giving you ways and means कि ऐसा करो, तुम 5 नहीं 2 ही पियो. Now after following up with the doctor for 1 month, a person like me or all these ladies who are hearing this consultation between you and the doctor, all these women, Nandini Bhakti Vrisha, get together and say कि देखो ये डॉक्टर सिगरेट पीना सिखा रहा है. You know, he's trying to tell her that it's okay to smoke. Okay, but Meena says that, or Neelam says that नहीं यार मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि वो रेगुलेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, क्योंकि एकदम से छुड़वा तो सकते नहीं, टेपर करवाना पड़ेगा. लेकिन मकसद डॉक्टर का ये है कि ये अल्टीमेटली द गोल इज कि ये किसी तरह सिगरेट रिड्यूस करे और फिर इन अ कपल ऑफ मंथ्स सिगरेट पीनी कंप्लीटली छोड़ दे. गोल ये है. लेकिन अपीयर ऐसे होता है as if he is regulating it. Regulation मतलब he is giving you permission. Okay, go ahead. So you also know that all diets are to be followed for a short period of time, isn't it, Anjali? No dietitian will say that use my diet lifelong. They are only trying to regulate your lifestyle till you are able to control your senses, till you are able to follow some sort of a stable pattern. And once you are able to control yourself, goal kya hai lekin ultimately to leave it. So similarly, none of us, अब हम पैदा होते ही हमें कह दे नो शादी, नो बच्चे, नो खाना पीना, ओनली भजन. उठो हरे कृष्णा करो, सो जाओ, फिर उठो हरे कृष्णा करो, फिर सो जाओ, उसके बाद भजन करो, कीर्तन करो, व्रत रखो, या ये जाओ वो जाओ. Will you be able to do it?
But Madhi is अच्छा नहीं है, because we are conditioning from the beginning कि this is what it is to be. I mean, rather than telling them कि ठीक है शादी कर लो, बच्चे कर लो, बल्कि शुरू से ही जब ऐसा वही, you know, with this I've heard somewhere that from the moment we are born, you know, we are conditioned, and that's why our thought process is what our thought process is. So if there is right conditioning, that, you know, the only alignment is towards the Lord, तो उसमें बुरा क्या है? मतलब ये सब options देने सिखाने क्यों? मैं ऐसे पूछ रही हूँ.
नहीं, it's a very good question. आप don't be apologetic. अर्जुन ने भी same question पूछा है अभी इसी chapter में, अभी last class में अर्जुन asked the same question, and what did Krishna say? There is a difference between desiring and deserving. You may desire that हमें बचपन से ही सिखा दें और हमें ये सब करना ही नहीं पड़े, but do we really have the capability to follow it? We don't deserve it. हमारा जो attachments हैं और हमारा जो lust है वो इतना deep rooted और इतना strong है that we are a prisoner of our own nature, because all of us are either in sattva gun, rajogun or tamogun, or a mixture of all of them. We can't break that pattern. You will not be able to do it because we are all victims of our nature. This is exactly what Krishna is telling Arjun when he says कि मैं भीख मांग लूंगा, मुझे लड़ाई नहीं करनी. Krishna says you are a kshatriya, your blood is kshatriya, एक दिन भी तुम ब्राह्मण नहीं बन पाओगे. भीख मांग के दिखा दो, you will go back to your kshatriya nature. because nature is so strong. These gunas, sattva, rajo, tamo is so strong. Kar nahi paoge. Your nature will pull you back. It's easier said than done. Hence, regulation is given. Shanay, shanay, धीरे धीरे, धीरे धीरे. थोड़ा सा खाओ, थोड़ा छोड़ो, थोड़ा खाओ. अब स्वीट टूथ है मेरा, मुझे बिल्कुल ही मना कर दोगे आज से तो मीठा नहीं खाओगी, कर लो डाइट. एक दिन नहीं डाइट चलेगी, थोड़ा थोड़ा दे दो. ओके, सुबह इतना सा खा लो, दोपहर इतना सा खा लो, रात को इतना सा खा लो. ओके, महीने तक खा लो, फिर छोड़ दो, फिर धीरे धीरे टेपर कर दो. That's the only way, because this mind is so obstinate. It is very difficult to overcome our nature, to overcome Maya, to overcome illusion. It is extremely difficult. Hence, regulation, a regulated lifestyle is easier. That you cannot get rid of your lust, but you can convert it slowly. You can dovetail it into the service of Krishna.
So much. Thank you. Very nice.
Hence these things are given. And regulation makes your life easy. It's not a torture. You will enjoy the process. And if you enjoy something, results will come. Then only you will do it over a long period of time, and then results will come. Otherwise, डंडे के साथ अगर hunter मार के बिठा दिया, भाग जाओगे. You will leave everything and go away and never come back to it again. Krishna is smarter. He's very smart.
True.
Therefore, regulation is required. This is exactly what Neelam also asked.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Okay. So, yes, आप mute हो, Bharti. अच्छा, Bharti is speaking to someone else. एकम शास्त्रम कौन करेंगे? Hema, are you well enough to speak?
Not that.
Yeah. Bharti, अच्छा Bharti तो चली ही गई. Bharti, you can? नहीं.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, fine. एकम शास्त्रम.
Ekam Shastram.
देवकी पुत्र गीतम.
Devaki Putram Geetam.
एको देवो.
Eko Devo.
देवकी पुत्र एव.
Devaki Putra Eva.
एको मंत्रस.
Eko Mantras.
तस्य नामानि यानि.
Tasya Namani Yani.
कर्मापि एकम.
Karmapi Ekam.
तस्य देवस्य सेवा.
Tasya Devasya Seva.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव.
Tumeva Mata Cha Pita Tumeva.
त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव.
Tumeva Bandhus Sakha Tumeva.
त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव.
Tumeva Vidya Dharvam Tumeva.
त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव.
Tumeva Sarvam Mam Deva Deva.
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
हरये परमात्मने.
Hare Paramatmane.
प्रणतकलेशनाशाय.
Arat Kalesh Nashaya.
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
देवकी नन्दनाय च.
Devaki Nandanaya Cha.
नन्दगोपकुमाराय.
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya.
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
वसुदेवं सुतं देवं.
Vasudevam Sutam Devam.
कंसचाणूरमर्दनम्. देवकी परमानन्दम्.
Devaki Paramanandam.
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्.
Krishna Vande Janam Kuru.
कात्यायनी महामाये.
Yatyani Mahamaye.
महायोगिनी अधीश्वरी.
Mahayogini Adishwari.
नंदगोप सुतं देवी.
Nanda Gopam Sutam Devi.
पतिं मे कुरुते नमः.
Atinta Deva Gurudeva Namah.
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Namah.
दासोऽहं कृष्ण तवास्मि.
Dasoham Krishnasmi.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। No words to express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada.